Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Another video actually. You like the harpsichord playing? Yeah, it's an old instrument. Eh, see, welcome to the Wednesday video. Yeah, it's 8:20 in the evening here. For some of y'all, it's Thursday morning, other way around the world. But either way, thank you for checking it out. Earlier, I kind of did a podcast, and I got very vocal on the issue of censorship. I'm not going to pull that podcast either. It had to be said, and it was worth saying. No apologies, don't care. So, I bet you're wondering what this video is going to be like. What's going to cover? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hear them all the time, all the time. Some turned out to be true, like that cigarettes cause cancer and all that. There were a lot of them, actually, that turned out to be true. But these are otherwise known as conspiracy theories, yes. Um, it was, So a conspiracy theory is basically something somebody believes. It's a very radical idea that isn't necessarily believed by all, but many have been involved in the belief of these conspiracy theories. So, this covers the ones in the U.S. and the most famous, November 22nd, 1963. That's my dad's birthday, by the way. It's coming up this year. Wonder what I'll get him. I might get him Brute or something. I don't know. Whatever guys in their 130s like. Just kidding. Okay, so, sorry, Dad, if you see this. Sorry. Okay, so on November 22nd of 1963, John F. Kennedy was in a motorcade in Dallas, Texas. He was struck by 2 bullets, and he was dead at 46 years old. Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested for the assassination. 2 days later, Oswald was killed on live television. So the Warren Commission had to create an investigation of the incident and concluded that Oswald acted alone. Some believe that there is more to the story. That's where all these conspiracy theories are born. Somebody who says, are they telling everything? So, there were theories that the CIA hired Oswald. And why would they do that? It was the reaction to the president's method of addressing the communism and the Bay of Pigs invasion. Some others believe the Mafia, Cuba, or Soviet Union are involved in the assassination. Who knows? And when somebody dies, I don't really think that it's 100% available to be conspiratored or conspiratized, whatever you call it. But many people still believe the CIA did it. Some people think there were other things that were involved, other forces, other people involved, other organizations. To this day, we do not know. I'm going to say something that I've found to be a little funny and probably a little scary to those who actually, had seen it and think, wow, is that even possible? Birds aren't real. Yeah, that's what I'm going to throw in. Whether it's covered later down the list or not, it's worth being said. And I'll get to the other one that deserves to be said. It's funny, you should check these out because there are actually people that believe that birds aren't real. That's the kind of belief that I maintain on social media. Story goes that Kennedy told them to dismantle the bird things were like drones and plug. That's good. And I'm alone. I don't care how uncivilized or bad manners it is. That's my soda. You don't want to drink after me because I'm dipping right now also. Which leads me to my next product placement. Kayak long cut straight with the man can. Yep. Yeah. So this comes with it. The man can. You can put anything in here. You get Stoker's has a tub as well. It comes with the thing. A can as well. But now back to the birds aren't real thing before I got off on tangents, which I do quite often, to be honest. So Kennedy didn't want them to get the bird drones to monitor the communists, so he was assassinated a short time later, all because he wouldn't allow them to continue the drone experiment. They were going to spy on the people who came overseas from places like Russia and other places where communism was rather much alive and well at the time, and he was going to they were going to actually concentrate these birds, or these drones, or birds rather, drones, on the people that migrated over here to basically try to stamp out any possibility of any, harmful things that might be done. Interesting theory. There's a huge mass following of this, and I like to have fun with it. And I will deny up and down that birds are real, and I will say that they are not real. That's my conspiracy theory. It kind of makes a lot of sense, but, whatever you choose to believe is up to you. I'm not going to try and do it for you. So, anyway, we all have heard about aliens coming to Earth, dwelling amongst people, the weird lights in the sky over Roswell, blah, 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 being UFOs. So that led to the famous Area 51 Nevada desert, which is a military installation at the Ness Military Operations Area. Highly classified place for a reason. It became known as the most secretive military site in the world because it does not exist on any map or government website, leading to many to believe in the craft conspiracy theories. Now, some believe Area 51 is researching and experimenting on aliens and their spacecraft. More specifically, people think they are studying a crash that happened near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Others theorize that the moon landing was staged at Area 51. The government has said the facility is used to test experimental aircraft for the military. Either way, it's hush-hush, top secret, and people are going to draw their own beliefs as to something. Now, there's a conspiracy theory about QAnon that is a widespread conspiracy theory that a group of Democrats and elites are attempting to undermine Donald Trump's presidency, or what was Donald Trump's presidency. Whatever you choose to believe. Some believe that it was a fraud, a sham on the election, that Trump won and Biden should have never been president, but I'm not going to give political opinions. I'm just simply telling you what's on the article on my screen, which is to the left of my camera window. So, looking off to the left, look at a camera every once in a while, looking fabulous. Maybe. I don't know. Don't tell me otherwise. So, QAnon, what are they? Because really, I have totally ignored news. There's a lot of very unpleasant things in the news. As someone who suffers from anxiety, many things upset me more than others. Others might be able to handle an article about politics or whatever. On the other hand, I steer clear of it because my honest opinion about things, there is too much stuff on TV and the news that I don't like. And, people can call me ill-informed or whatever, but I'm protecting my anxiety from going through the roof. That's the real reason I don't pay attention to it. I don't like to see drama or, everything else. And I've pretty much gotten real strict with people in comment threads on Facebook about an issue, and they totally just said everything in their power to make me feel really bad about myself. And once I figured out that people just want to troll, basically, and, and be spiteful towards people, that's when I quit doing it. I even created a new account just to get away from the news. So that's how I felt. So, I don't know. So it says QAnon is a baseless, far-right conspiracy theory that claims President Donald Trump is secretly fighting deep state cabal of satanic pedophiles and cannibals. True or not, I don't know. True or not, I honestly could care less, because the less I see of crap like this, the better off I am. What I write is pretty out there and graphic and brutal, but to be honest with you, I would rather write fantasy than actually see it happen. Weird, I know, but that's how I do. Kind of hypocritical, contradicting, and all that, right? So anyway, this is a relatively fresh one. This dates back to 4 years ago in 2017, when a high-level government official posted details about the inner workings of the government on an anonymous messaging board. You guessed it, 4chan. 4chan saw this, right? This person identified themselves simply as Q, and from there, the far right-wing people were birthed as QAnon, because nobody knew who the guy was, just Q, so QAnon, Q Anonymous. Makes sense. It's not the only thing that makes sense in the world right now. While QAnon started as a niche online forum, it has turned into a mainstream belief system for some conservatives, according to the Washington Post. However, the claims within the conspiracy theory are not supported by evidence. Who knows? People are going to draw conspiracy theory opinions, unfounded opinions, or founded opinions about something based on what could be true and not necessarily what may or may not be true. So, this is a new one. I haven't heard much about this. Some people believe that a research facility in Alaska is a mind control lab. Now, of course, Alaska is a very northern state by Canada on the west, I believe. That's embarrassing. Anyway, in the mountains of Alaska, you can find a high-frequency, active, what's that word? Auroral research program. My glasses are smudged, by the way, so I might be a little weird. This helps scientists study the farthest distances of the atmosphere. Sounds cool, right? The facility sits on 33 acres of land and has over 180 antennas. Yeah, that's a lot of antennas. These antennas have collected data about the aurora borealis, radio waves, and other atmospheric occurrences. Cool. I like that. Because we should try to figure out what goes on in front of us and the workings of the workings of the elements and things in the elements. So I'm supportive of it. But some people believe the antennas are an experimental weapon that can control people's minds. This is according to the Smithsonian, of all things. Others believe it caused the Columbus shell to destruct in 2003, and in 2016, however, the facility held an open house so the public could see that they were not up to anything dangerous. Not bad. Area 51 won't open its doors, but Alaska will. Cool. Johnny Gosch was abducted in 1969 from Des Moines, Iowa, and conspiracies have surrounded his disappearance for years. So this was a young kid, 12 years old. This happened September 5th of 1982. So Johnny Gosch, 12 years old, vanished without a trace from Des Moines, Iowa, while on his morning newspaper run. Newspaper boy. Gets abducted, vanishes. All that. So there were no evidence or leads. The case went cold and remained unsolved, but there have been a number of conspiracy theories about what happened to him. Some people believe that he was forced into a child sex ring that was operating in Nebraska. His mother, Noreen, received pictures of a man tied up in a basement, leading her to believe the theory was true. Though the man in the picture could not be proved to be Gosch, and there were no other evidence to prove the theory. In 1997, Noreen said her now grown-up son visited her with his captor. She said he told her that he was all right, and that he was still alive, igniting even more conspiracies that he was still alive, but police could not corroborate the mother's story. And finally, there's a conspiracy theory that White House reporter Jeff Gannon is Johnny Gosch because they had share similar political characteristics. Theory was never proven. So that's a rather interesting thing, especially the coming back and speaking to the mother with the captor. That was kind of interesting. And of course, they can't corroborate her story. So, it's I don't know. Stranger things have happened, I guess. Um, so there's this safeguard complex in North Dakota that was built during the Cold War, but some people think it's related to the Illuminati. Yes, the Illuminati. Oh my. Stanley B. Mickelson Safeguard Complex in North Dakota was built in the 1970s to detect incoming missiles. The $500 million building is shaped like an unfinished pyramid. And yes, it actually is. I saw a picture of it. Much like the one you can see on the back of the dollar. Okay. My wallet's in the living room. If you look on the back of the dollar bill, I think it's to the left, it's that all-seeing eye, okay? That is actually an occult symbol, if I'm not mistaken. And there are a lot of organizations that use it, and those organizations are automatically labeled as Illuminati organizations. I won't really say any because I don't have it in front of me and I don't want to discredit anybody's organization or anything. But the ones that are uh, theorized to use that and the weird history that surrounds them. So it has a round circle on each face. That all-seeing eye thing. Mysteriously, the building was opened and in operation for only one day. That's odd. It opened October 1st in 1975 and closed October 2nd, 1975. Congress decided to end the program, leading many to construct conspiracy theories. Some assume the building is actually used by the Illuminati because of its pyramid shape, which is a symbol of, here we go, Freemasonry and teachings of the largest secret society. What are your thoughts about that? Because that's kind of bizarre that it would only be open for one day. And some people don't believe in the Illuminati. Some people swear by it, that it exists. But I gotta tell you, it's an interesting concept. A government operational facility only open for one day. So I don't know. I might look this up and see exactly what it is. This is in North Dakota? It said. Yeah, North Dakota. You can actually see the picture. And $500 million is a lot to drop on a building to keep it open for one day. Could it be true? I don't know. Next, the hide and seek champion of the world, Bigfoot. Actually, there have been 2,032 Bigfoot sightings in Washington state. There's a guy in the picture sitting next to a blue truck, and on his truck is Sasquatch Watch. You can find it at sasquatchwatch.net. So go to that website, and he's actually out of Virginia. That's where he. So anyway, so the Bigfoot sightings are reported all over the U.S., but Washington has the highest number. I've heard several podcasts about the Sasquatch, and he's apparently quite large and scary, and probably reeks too, I guess. I don't know. But there have been 2,032 sightings in one state, according to Newsweek. I think I meant to say 20,000, but it's 2,032. So there have been a number of conspiracies, surprise, around the mythical creature. Some believe it is a ferocious beast meant to be feared, and others think it's a harmless creature that wants to be left alone. There's actually a movie about Bigfoot called Exists. You ought to check it out. It's where Bigfoot just totally has a rampage on those who are trespassing on his turf. Anyway, so there are other theories that Bigfoot is related to humans since it walks on two legs, while others claim that it's an extraterrestrial being. Aliens in the woods. Hairy, human-like, large aliens in the woods. Makes sense, right? So, there were actually footprints in 58 that turned out being a prank by a guy named Ray Wallace near Bluff Creek in Northern California, according to the Smithsonian. His children ratted him out, said it was all a joke after his death in 2002. Them darn kids. Shame on them. There is a giant active volcano under Yellowstone in Wyoming. If it erupts, it could wipe out the U.S. Conspiracists believe the government knows when the eruption will happen. I've actually heard this. My friend has actually mentioned this a few times. Um, you know, and I won't say his name, but he's a really funny guy. A lot of what he says is actually life lessons, in my opinion, so I treasure his sayings quite quite close. You know, um, yeah, he says what I think that I'm afraid to say, so he's a good guy. Real friends will say what you're afraid to say. They'll say it for you, and they'll take the blame, I swear. But yeah, he's a great guy, really great guy. So anyway, about Yellowstone though. Yellowstone Park is 3,500 square miles of wilderness, wild animals, and gorgeous landscapes. Indeed it is. And Wyoming itself is a very nice place to go. I do want to visit it one day. So anyway, regardless of it being gorgeous and scenic and a lot of things thriving there, there's an active volcano that measures 44 miles across. It's quite the big volcano, man. I don't know what the average size of a volcano is, but there's this one volcano in Japan where people jump in to commit suicide. So it's they say that you're pretty much pulverized by a few feet down, a few hundred feet, even if you're lucky, into the lava. Very hot thing. Anyway, but yeah, if it erupts, it could wipe out the entire U.S., which is a scary thought. I'm sorry, but you're going to have nightmares tonight, I guess. The volcano last erupted 630,000 years ago. Thank goodness I wasn't then around, although I'm old, so you'd wonder. Some believe the U.S. is drawing up contingency plans because the government knows that eruption is imminent, imminent. Yes, try to make fun of myself. Imminent is what it is. Conspiracists also point to videos of animals running from Yellowstone, which people think is a sign of a coming eruption. It's true, animals can detect disaster and all that before it happens. And, you know, um, that's pretty much like cows huddle together or something when something's going to happen, like with the weather, maybe a tornado and all that. I'm a chaser myself, so I have the lights on top, and I go out and play while everyone huddles in shelters. It's amazing. You should try it, but be smart about it and study your stuff and know what to do. The second it turns on you, you're history. There was a storm spotter around here, chaser, whatever have you. He was a storm spotter, actually. Chasers are just those that are on thrill rides, I guess. I saw that in a forum, and a cop had said that. But anyway, so he had parked on this clay road just right up the way, not too far from me, from where I live. Tornado came and he got stuck in the clay and he couldn't get out, and he got killed. And that's a really tragic thing. So know your stuff before you do it, because it could save your life. Safety first, and regrets never. Okay, so anyway, experts say the animals are just running from tourists. Oh yeah, we're that spooky, aren't we? For the animals just to haul it out, yeah, we're spooky. So, this is interesting. If you like Mattress Firm, and you live in Illinois, there are people that actually believe that there are a few like within miles of each other, a few miles of each other, in fact. And they believe it's a money laundering business. And if you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 mattress firms in Illinois. They like to sleep. That's all I'll say. It looks like it. Yeah, I think it is. Even though there's like an ocean beside it, it looks like Illinois to me. I don't know. There's like that many mattress firms very, very close to each other. So I don't know. My geography sucks. But in 2018, Reddit. Yes, Reddit's a wonderful thing, aren't they? A Reddit user brought to the attention of the entire world via the internet that there was a high concentration of mattress firm stores in certain areas of the US, especially in Chicago. It went viral, of course, with thousands sharing photos and maps that show mattress firm stores within 5 miles of each other, and sometimes even across the street. Oh my, the invasion of the mattress firm stores. And this led people to theorize that the retail company is money laundering business. I don't mean to laugh if it's true, but it's just, I just picture all these people scared to death that there are so many mattress firms out there. It's hilarious. So, Mattress Firm is some sort of giant money laundering scheme, one Reddit user wrote. I remember seeing from mattress firms all on each corner of the intersection once that there is no way there's such demand for mattresses. Well, if the hotels need mattresses, I'm sure they go to that store. So I don't know, that one's kind of comical because I don't know, it's really weird. People would get scared to death over a mattress firm being like within close proximity of each other. I mean, come on. I mean, they're probably big up there. That's probably why they have them. High concentration area. Chicago's huge, man. There's a lot of really nice hotels, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, there are a lot of people there in search of a new mattress. And they go Mattress Firm. I see them all the time in commercials, Mattress Firm, having a big sale and stuff, right? So, next one, we have a ghostwriter by the name of Truman Capote. So, Harper Lee's famous novel, Kill a Mockingbird, supposedly ghostwritten by Truman. This is interesting, right? Ghostwriting is a very nice thing to do, but you're supposed to credit the other guy. So either he screwed this guy out of his credits or something. I don't know. Hey, I'll read about it though. I'll let you decide. Truman Capote and Harper Lee both grew up in Alabama and were childhood friends. They were close. They each went on to become celebrated authors. Capote wrote his crime story In Cold Blood, and Lee the great American novel To Kill a Mockingbird, which I understand has nothing to do with a mockingbird. Killing a mockingbird. While Capote went on his thank you. While Capote went on to write numerous books, Lee published only one other book in her lifetime, leading some to believe that Capote wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. And this is according to CNBC. Y'all are supposed to help me out. Where are you? Oh, you haven't seen this video yet until I post it. So, in a 2010 documentary, Lee's sister Alice C. Lee denied the accusation, saying Capote had been jealous of her sister's success. Moving on, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, but some think there is more to the story. And of course, Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, on April the 4th of 1968, it happened. It was an event that changed everything. So Martin Luther King Jr. stepped out on his balcony at the Lorraine Motel in Minneapolis or Memphis, Tennessee, and was shot. Hold on. I can't see it right now. That's a little better. Yeah, so it was Memphis, Tennessee. The civil rights leader later died at a Memphis hospital at 39. He's 1 year younger than me. So the killer, James Earl Ray, was caught and pleaded guilty a year later. However, many people, including King's own children, do not believe that Ray acted alone. Some believe the FBI or the KKK were involved in the assassination and believe Ray was framed. According to NPR, the U.S. Justice Department investigated the death on 3 separate occasions once they concluded that there may have been a wilder conspiracy, but there is no hard evidence against it. So it was really horrible back in that time with all the things that went on for the African American community, and he had a dream that everyone would be brought together one day. And his famous speech, "I have a dream." It was a very great speech, I believe, one of the greatest ever. There's a lot of others like JFK and, of course, Richard Nixon. I don't know if it's exactly his speech, but his quote, "I am not a crook," so. That band, the Nixons, I sometimes say, well, they're not crooks, so that's a good thing. Anyway, so next, we go back to Roswell, New Mexico's, the subject of Roswell. They claim it is a famous center for UFO-focused conspiracy theories. July 4th, 1947, the 4th of July, Mark Brazel went out to a sheep pasture in Roswell, New Mexico, found some unusual objects including metallic sticks, foil reflectors, and paper scraps. Since he had no idea what the objects were, he called the local sheriff, who then called the Roswell Army Air Force. The pieces were swiftly taken away in armored trucks. So a few days later, the Roswell, my phone is lighting up. It's a friend of mine calling. I'll probably call her back after this. Hi, Francis. Sorry. A few days later, the Roswell Daily Record published an article titled "RAAF Captures Flying Saucer on Ranch in Roswell Region." I thought it was 9. It's only 8:53. Sparking conspiracy theories that would last decades. So many believe that the pieces found in the field were from an alien ship, even though officials said that they were from a broken weather balloon. So, of course, they had to be hiding something to go against the people, right? Years later, it was discovered the objects were part of a secret military project called Project Mogul, which aimed at eavesdropping on the Soviet Union, much like the birds aren't real thing. The surveillance of people from countries such as that. So, speaking of UFO sightings, the most famous one happened in Flora, Mississippi. Yep. February 10th of 1977, one of the greatest, most important UFO conspiracy days in the conspiracy theory history. It was a day several police officers claimed to have seen a strange object hovering in the sky in Florida, Mississippi over the top of a forest. It is approximately 15 to 18 feet off the ground, blue in color, kind of metallic blue, portholes, however you say it, around the center of it, shaped like an old spinning top kids used to use, one of the officers said. The officers followed the UFO until it vanished over the tree line. Years later, there seemed to be 2 spots in the forest, measure about 15 feet each, where nothing is growing, but there have been never any formal explanations. So yes, UFOs. If you don't believe in UFOs, that's fine. But the definition is unidentified flying objects. So even sometimes, whenever aviation towers or whatever um, spot anything on radar that's out of the ordinary that they don't recognize, they identify it as a UFO. Now the spaceship UFOs, a lot of cops, saying the same thing. Stories unwavering. That could make it very true, and we'll never really know. Flora, Mississippi. Um, yeah, the most famous place. So, next we have Flathead Lake, Montana. Flathead Lake, Montana, where there have been countless sightings of a Loch Ness like monster. This is in 1889. Captain James C. Kerr and his 100 passengers aboard a steamboat reported seeing a 30 to 40 foot long creature in Flathead Lake. As of July 2018, there have been 109 sightings of the foreign creature. That's according to NBC Montana. So, 30 to 40 foot long monster, that's pretty scary. So, that's like over 130 something years ago. So they keep citing these things, you know. So one person said, I remember saying, look, that's it, we're seeing it. One person told NBC. I knew immediately because the descriptions are the same. It was 25 feet from what we could see in humps rather. So the humpback Loch Ness monster was sighted. Other witnesses, help me, help me read the article, please. Other witnesses say the creature resembles the famous Loch Ness monster with steel black eyes and fins. So yes, I remember growing up near Wichita Falls, Texas. They had this lake out there by the mall, Sykes Center Mall, and it's a great mall, by the way. And they actually had a creature, Loch Ness monster, like that they constructed and put out there. So it was kind of interesting to run by the lake and see a Loch Ness monster driving to the mall or whatever. Anyway, so the airport is always a scary place in general. A lot of weird things always happen out there. Flight delays, people getting frustrated, people acting like idiots towards each other, violent, what have you, angry people at the airports. Not to mention those security guards out there, you know, doing all kinds of things over time. I haven't heard too many reports, but there have been some pretty bad ones. But anyway, so the Denver International Airport specifically is well known for a number of conspiracy theories, not just one or two, but a number. So I've read a little bit about this. They think it's a portal to the underworld. Yeah, the portal to the underworld's in Colorado. So it's a massive transportation hub, and it's filled with conspiracy theories. For starters, the airport was $2 billion over budget, leading some to believe it has an underground structure that is either used as bunkers or headquarters of the supposed, you guessed it, world-controlling group, the Illuminati. Yes, the Illuminati, the one who does spells over music, I guess. I've heard a lot of weird things. Make sure you wear your foil hats, by the way. Others believe the building was built by neo-Nazis because markers and plaques around the airport say it is funded by the New World Airport Commission, whatever that is. No information can be found about the organization anywhere, which is mysterious, I'm sure. Even though they say that the runways are laid out like a swastika if viewed from above. Interesting. The art around the airport is also some people's cause for concern. More notably, there is a 32-foot sculpture of a horse that fell on its sculpture and killed him. That fell on its sculptor and killed him. So it's not like a death sculpture, I guess. There are also murals. They're also troubling some people, including images of Nazi officers in gas masks, children near a burning building, and the devil jumping out of a suitcase. That's bizarre. And, you know, I mean, if if those are true, I don't know. I'm just reading the article, which, by the way, comes from the insider.com. And, I want to go there. They have some good articles, I think. So, even Mount Rushmore has been the center of some of these conspiracy theories. I'll try to hurry. I'm almost an hour into the thing. So, some believe that the chamber behind Mount Rushmore holds some big secrets, right? So, Mount Rushmore is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the U.S., has the faces of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt carved into it. Not many know there's a hidden chamber behind Lincoln's head. The sculptor Gutzon Borgum created an 18-foot door behind the landmark that leads up to an open room that is 74 feet long and 35 feet high. Borglum intended to place America's prized possessions in this room. It is supposed to be called the Hall of Records. Interesting. While the room does contain important historical documents like the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, it is now sealed off from the public, leading many to create theories. Some believe the government is hiding something incredibly secretive there, like proof of extraterrestrial beings. Back to that, right? Others believe there are hidden treasures in that room, an idea explored in Nicolas Cage's National Treasure Book of Secrets. Next, we come to the Georgia Guidestones. Georgia Guidestones. It's the most famous monument and is known for its bizarre inscriptions, which led to a number of conspiracy theories. So this started in 1980. A monument was built in Elberton, Georgia. It is known as the Georgia Guidestones. There are 10 guidelines on the monument written in 8 languages, which seem to set rules for humans. For instance, one inscription reads, "Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature," while another reads, "Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason." The monument was paid for by a man who gave an alias, and no one knows who built it or why. Some think the inscriptions are telling the future and giving us guidelines for how to rebuild after an apocalypse. That's interesting. That really is. It's a positive message nonetheless, I guess. Others believe Satanists, or the New World Order, which is a secret world-controlling group, built the sculpture to promote their agendas. Now, when does that happen? In 1968, the Kentucky Derby was shrouded in conspiracy theories after the winner was stripped of his title. I don't know what this is about. Is Peter Fuller and his horse Dancer. Okay. Supposedly he supported Martin Luther King Jr., and he was stripped of his title. So, in May of 1968, Peter Fuller and his horse Dancer won the Kentucky Derby and were given a $5,000 trophy. 3 days later, Fuller and Dancer's image were stripped of their title. Traces of phenobarbital were found in the horse's bloodstream. People believed they cheated. Fuller was shocked and categorically denied the results, eventually taking the problem to court. The situation rocked the Derby community, leading to many conspiracy theories. Since Fuller was an outspoken supporter of Martin Luther King Jr. and even given money to his wife, Coretta King, some think the anti-civil rights believers sabotaged the horse, according to the Lexington Herald-Leader. Others say it was an FBI plot orchestrated by J. Edgar Hoover because he disliked King and always tried to discredit the civil rights movement. All these theories remain unproven. How many more do I have? We have some left. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video due to time. There will be a part 2 to this. Let me know what you think in the comments about this whole particular wave of conspiracy theories. Which ones do you think are true that have been mentioned? Which ones do you think are not true? Go to insider.com for more. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever. Rest well.